Hey guys, it is Carl Brown with GuitarLessons365.com. Got one of the biggest metal classics of all time today. We're gonna learn how to do Metal Health, Bang Your Head, by Quiet Riot. So this one, I can't believe I haven't done it yet. I thought I had, and somebody just left a comment saying, hey idiot, why don't you do one of the biggest metal anthems of all time? So, okay, I will. So anyway, we're gonna do this one today. Before I get into it though, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already and ring that notification bell so you'll know to release a new video. Like and comment on the videos and all that stuff. You know, it's YouTube. It helps me out a lot. And if you really want to help me out what I do here on YouTube, please check out my Guitar Academy. You'll see a link in the description below. My Academy has all of my guitar courses that I've written and I personally support. So if you're a member of my Academy, you get personalized support from me. And they have complete courses in, from beginner stuff to more advanced courses in ear training, improvisation, theory, technique, guitar tone. There's many different styles. So please go check it out. I'm adding new lessons there, new courses there all the time. And like I said, you can just contact me and email me and we can work together to help you get a good lesson plan going. All right, so let's get jumping into this song. Now I'm in standard tuning, but the original recording, when I check it out on like Spotify or YouTube, it's not A440. It's a little flat. So it's always weird transcribing songs like that. But it's pretty much a standard tune song. It's just for whatever reason it's a little bit lower on the album. So just keep that in mind. It might not sound completely great when you're playing along with the recording because of that. So let's start with this main riff here. We have this. So that starts with just this A power chord. Then it goes to a C power chord off the third fret of the A string. And then it goes to a G open power chord. You get those nice ringing open strings in there. So it sounds a lot better than it sounds kind of muffled compared to it. So that G power chord is just if you don't know what that is, it's just a regular G major chord, but you're gonna mute. You're not going to play that B note there on the A string, so you're just going to mute the A string with the bottom of your middle finger. The rest of it's just a normal G. So that makes it a G power chord, so it's not a major chord anymore. So we have this. Then you hit that chord again. And then we have this. So that's that C power chord. Back to that A again. And then when you come back to the C power chord, slightly bend it down and back to the A. So we have this. All right, so now really you're going to see that riff a lot, but the endings are going to kind of alternate. So this first ending is going to be those open D and G strings, and then a D power chord. So the D power chord is just like was a D major chord, right? But without that note on the high E string. So it's really, you can hit the open A string in there with it too. So open A and D, and then the second fret on the G, third fret on the D. So we have this. Just start the riff again. So right there was a different ending. I just hit the low E string, and then the third fret on the low E with some vibrato on it. So that's a different ending than like I said, so it's just those little endings are going to change. So we had that second ending there. Then you start the riff again, and this ending, is going to be the same as the first one. just that open D and G strings, which is like a G power chord, and then the D power chord. And then back again. Full time through now. Same riff. Now here at the very end we have this, which is hitting the open D and G twice on upbeats. So all together. And then as you let that ring, a little bit of slight vibrato bar action there. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to a clean tone for the verse. So we have this. And then it goes to the pre-chorus here. Now, these chords can actually, you can add the low A string, the open A string in there, like this. Because that's what the bass player's doing. It's keeping that A pedal underneath. I don't know if the guitar is doing the A, but it sounds good like that. So I kind of like playing with the A string and the bass there. But you can just play the upper chords, which is just like a regular A major chord. So just the bar across the second fret of the D, G, and the B. And then just take that up 2 frets to the 4th fret. All right, so got this great little Lydian sound. Then all the way up here to this not a Lydian sound. It's the same thing at the 5th fret, and then back down. So we just kind of do that a little bit. All right, then we kick back in distortion into this. Back to that main riff again. So that right there is now sets up that pre-chorus. So we start with those open D and G, hit twice again on the upbeats, like we did earlier. And then that goes into the pre-chorus, which is the A power chord. Then just kind of chugging on the kind of a palm muted open A string, and then move up. And this time, just gonna really you're hitting the 4 on the D and the G together. You don't want that note in the B string there anymore. When you just have distortion, just kind of keep it on those 2 middle strings there for the 2 on the D and the G there, and then on the D and the G the 4, then the 5, back to the 4, and those 2 open things again. It's kind of like a transition thing there whenever they do that. So we have this. And then we kind of do the same thing now, but without the kind of the palm muted kind of 8th note feel, which is let it ring. So I'm just not going with the A string ring there. Just go up to the 4th fret and across the D and the G, and then the 5th fret, and then go straight to this D power chord. I'm sorry, it's a D major chord, full D major. So regular D major chord, and you can put the A string in the bass too. Kind of hit that a few times, and at the very end, and make it a D sus4 chord by adding the 3rd fret there on the high E string. And then back to the main riff. Now, you see right there when I did that in the chorus, instead of going, I hit each chord once, I hit the open D and G, and then that D power chord twice. So it's kind of moving along a little bit as more in the chorus. So we have this once again for the chorus. Bang. Now that little ending, so we just played the riff twice. So we had that same little open D and G into the D chord. And then on the repeat, and it sounds like this time in the chorus when they're going back to this, you know, at the end of the first chorus, we had this, sounds like they hit the open D and G, then down to the third fret on that low E real quick, and then back to those two open strings. Kind of let that ring a little bit, that A chord, and then we have our first little fill here that happens. Looks like this. So that's a little fill that ends the last chorus. So that's going to be up here at the 20th fret on the high E to 17 on the B. Then the same thing again, but starting on the B string. So 20 on the B, 17 on the G. So this. Then 19 on the G, 17 on the D, and then the same thing starting on the D string, 19 on the D, 17 on the A. So this. Then just shift back here to the 15th fret there. Slight bends on that, and then finish the lick at the 17th fret on the low E string. All right, so then that takes us back to the same clean verse, the same exact pre-chorus, and the same chorus. Now this second chorus had a little bit different ending, so we have this little same thing. So right there, I just did that 0, 3, and then that took us to it basically takes us to the bridge. So this bridge looks like this. So that ending of the chorus there. Then to the solo section there. So that just basically that will end that 0, 3 to end that second chorus. Up to this power chord, instead of playing the A power chord here, we're going to now do it at the 5th fret on the low E string. And the reason why, because you need those slides there. He kind of slides off each one. All right, and then the next is that C power chord here at the 3rd fret of the A, over to the G power chord at the 3rd fret of the low E. And then slide that down, so like this. All right, now back to the C power chord. And then once again, jump up here to the A. Slide down off that one. And then we go back to that C power chord again. And then we get to the G this time. Get center palm muted. And then up to the A. So it looks like this for this whole section. It's very simple. So we'll just... All right, then we get to the solo. So, well, the first solo. So this solo right here, first of all, is over just a B, D, and E power chord. So it kind of does the rhythm guitar underneath it. At first is kind of messing around on the B power chord at the 7th fret, and then the D power chord at the 5th fret. off the A string, and then up to the E power chord, up to the 7th fret of the A string. All right, so that's all that's going on. Just that B, D, and E power chord just kind of chugging along on them underneath the solo. All right, so now let me play through this solo for you real quick, and then I'll show you how to play it phrase by phrase. So here we go. All right, so we do have some unison bends that come up over that kind of outro, that riff that kind of exits the solo. So we'll take a look at those as well. So we're gonna start here with this unison bend. So you're holding the 10th fret on the B, and you're gonna bend up the G string here till it matches that note. So it's a unison bend. So you're bending up the 12th fret on the G while holding the 10th fret on the B. And then we have this first little phrase. So that starts with down here at the 4th fret on the G string, and you're gonna slide from there up to around the 9th fret. So then jump over to the 7th fret on the high E, roll over to the 7th fret on the B, then play 10th fret on the B string, and real quick jump over here to the 9th fret on the D string, grab that B real quick, and then now that could very well be the open B string there. For me, it's a little bit easier to control by just coming over here and grabbing it here, but you could be doing this. Open B string, and then into that bend now, that's the whole set bend at the 10th fret of the B. Or like I did before. To me, this sounds better, and it's easier to control. Or, so you just kind of choose which way you like doing it. For any case, when you leave that lick, it gets a lot more difficult. So what's going on there? So we start here after this bend. You're gonna pull off, you're gonna pick 10, pull off 9, 7 on the B. Then over to 9 on the G. So after you do that, over that 9 on the G, you're now gonna pull off 10 to 7 on the B, then 9 to 7. So we have this. So after you pull off that 9 to 7, go over to the 9 on the G, and then back to that 7 on the B. So we have this so far. And then you're gonna play just the pull off from the 9 to 7 on the B. Over to the 9 on the G, back to that 7 on the B string. So we have. So then after you did those licks, so right there I did this. Actually, after you do that last 9 to 7 pull off, then pull off 9 to 7 on the G string. Sometimes you can get lost, these kind of bluesy type ones. Just like that. And then go and bend the 9th fret on the G. Kind of just bend it up a whole step, and then kill it. And then play 7th fret on the G. Then we have some bends at that 7th fret. So a couple of bends. And once again, you're doing the bend and then killing it. Then play 7, 9 on the D. So we have this. All right, next phrase. So now he's doing some pick tapping. Whenever you see him do this live, he's and in the video stuff too, he's using his pick to do the tapping. So we're gonna slide into 10 on the B, then a whole step bend at the 13th fret on the B, and then you can start doing a trill. Now, generally, when you see pick tapping, it's not like set up to be just like. Where there's like a really nice pattern going on between the hands. A lot of times when you're doing you're hearing pick tapping, it's more erratic because you're just kind of doing a trill between these, the 10 and 13, while. So they're almost like separate things, they're not really working together. So now what he's doing is he's doing a pick, kind of trilling a pick tap here at the 15th fret on the B. Then he moves up to 17, then 18, and when he gets to 18th fret, he slides it up the string. So just, I can do that all day. So we have that. And then do the same, now instead of going all the way down to 15 again, he just goes between 17 and 18 and then slides up every time. So we start at the 15. And then kind of hang out. After he's done it a few times, he's just kind of more just kind of hanging around between like 17 and 15. So we have this. Sorry, here we go. In that section with a bend there at the 13th fret there on the B string. And then we have this. That's just like a little tremolo picked section to end the solo. So we're going to be playing another unison bend here. We have the 12th fret on the high E while you're bending the 15th fret on the B. So do those, so they become a unison. And as he's doing that, starts tremolo picking the top string, which is holding that 12th fret. So that tremolo picking is relatively easy when you're doing it on one string, but then he starts crossing across strings and it gets a lot more difficult. So let me just show you the notes that he's going to be doing the tremolo picking on first, and then you can worry about the picking later. So we have this 12, 14, 15, 17 on the high E. And then 14, 15, 17 only. So we have this. And then 15, 17, 19. So those are the notes on the high E string. All right, now from there, we're gonna start doing the string crossing. So this from there, that really cool sounding way to end the solo too. So we would start here with this. So 19 on the high E to 17 on the B, then shift down real quick to the 15th fret there on the G string, and then 17 back on the B. And then 15 on the G again. I'm switching fingers as I go. So now I grab that 15 with my middle finger. Then we play 14 on the D string. A lot of tritones going on here. And then we have the 16th fret on the G. then another tritone beneath that, 15 on the D, and then a tritone beneath that, 14th on the A. So we have this. So you're going to be tremolo picking it. So just really kind of just pick as fast as you can. All right, then we go back to the main riff after the solo. And then you'll hear some of these unison bend melody comes in like this. So that's that unison bend here, the 10th fret on the B, 12th on the G. We did that earlier. Same thing now at the 13th fret there. And then jump up to this unison bend here. It's the 15th fret on the high E, and bending the 18th fret on the B string together. So this. Then bend that again. And then it's just that 13th fret unison bend, and then the 10th, then back to 13th, and then back to 10th. All right, so now we get to the breakdown section. So this breakdown section is kind of like this. Well, it starts with just kind of, he's doing this little you'll hear that start coming in toward the end, and then they kind of start trading off, trading to bro and with the solos. So we have this. All right, so we basically have this so 10th fret on the B string a couple times, over to the G, 12th fret, back to 10 on the B, and back to 12 on the G. But then hammer 10 to 13 on the B string, and then up a whole step. So that's the first lick. And then we have this next one. So we're started with a bend at the 13th fret on the B string. Then play 13, 10, and then back to those 13s a couple of times, slight bends on each one. Down to the 10 on the B. Good. When you're doing this, after that big bend, whenever you do play the 13, there's a slight little bend on it. And let that slide down. Third lick is just a trill now. Kind of like we did in the solo, so just kind of hammering trilling between 10 and 13 on the B. Into a bend there at the 13th fret. And then the fourth lick is the same as the second one. So all together so far. All right, and then we change it up a little bit with so that you're going to be playing the 15th fret on the high E string, and then do a bend, and at the 15th fret on the B, release, pull off the 13. Do that a couple times. And then do that 15 on the high E again. And just end it with that bend of the 15. So we just basically did this lick twice. Sorry. And then end it with that 15 again into the bend. Then it kind of does that again, except they're more of pre-bend and releases like this. So instead of going, he's doing the same thing, but after he plays that note, he has a pre-bend and he just releases the bend. So it's kind of the same lick, but just with pre-bends instead of regular bends. So all together. Hopefully you can see the difference there. And then we have this. So that's up here. So that's at the 20th fret bend there. It's an A minor pentatonic. Release, pull off to 17. And then play 20 again, and then another bend. So it is. Release again, pull off to 17 again, and then back to the 20, and then into another bend. And then a series of kind of just bend, release, pull off to 17. Just a series of those as it's leaving this section. Kind of pushes that towards the, going back to the main riff. So we had this outro solo. Outro some chorus. So it's kind of like the first chorus, just kind of repeated more. Now, over this, we do have an outro solo. And the song just kind of actually ends without a fade out. Just the end of that chorus up there. But leading up to that, we do have an outro solo. As you guys probably know, I loathe outro solos. I just think they're redundant most of the time. We've already proved a point with awesome solos earlier in the song. And they always are kind of low in the mix, underneath the vocalist screaming the chorus, and they always kind of wander and just kind of do kind of bluesy licks. So I don't usually cover these note for note because it's just kind of a pain. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Anyway, so, but not that it's not a perfectly fine solo. It's just, I don't really see the point. So we have basically this outro chorus, and what he's using here is A minor pentatonic for the most part. So what we just did at those, if you know your basic minor pentatonic shape, just a normal, there, take that up an octave. So he's just messing around with the A minor pentatonic up there. So I'm just going to kind of give you the scales that he's using instead of teaching that solo note for note. So it's, and then down here, the exact same thing, an octave lower. He doesn't do the same licks, but he's kind of messing around in the A minor pentatonic form down here. So without getting in detail that outro solo, I think it's better. Always give you an opportunity to do your own kind of thing there. So if you want to, A minor pentatonic, and you'll be good to go. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is a classic metal anthem, fun to play. And, well, it's fun for me. Hopefully it'll be fun for you as well. All right, I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.